Hello, today I'm going to tell you about the 2007 American comedy Good Luck Chuck. At the beginning of the movie, a boy named Chuck and his horny friend Stu are playing a battle game. In the game, the participants spend 7 minutes together in a closet, and Chuck hopes to spend the time with a girl he likes, but instead he gets a silent, strange girl of exotic appearance. They go into the closet, and there she tells him that she is in love with Chuck and wants to get closer to him. The girl literally pounces on him, but Chuck doesn't want it and falls out of closet, offended and humiliated. She says in front of everyone that she curses Chuck and now he won't see love. Years later, Chuck is a grown man and spends time at the beach with his girlfriend. She wants to hear words of love from him, but Chuck doesn't want to say them. The girlfriend gets upset and leaves him. Chuck is a dentist and works alongside Stu, who has become a plastic surgeon. They come together to the wedding of one of Chuck's exes, where during the toast, the bride says she is grateful to Chuck for finding her husband. Chuck notices the charming but awkward girl Cam. They chat. Cam works at the zoo and takes care of the penguins. The man gives her his phone number and the girl leaves, accidentally spilling hot wax on him. The bride approaches Chuck. Once again, she thanks him, but expresses her condolences about his loneliness. A little later, she tosses the bride's bouquet and it fantastically ends up in our hero's ex. Early in the morning, the man notices that there are many girls sitting in his waiting room. Chuck shares this with a friend as he suddenly meets his ex and her wedding dress. The girl rejoices in the event and says that the wedding is thanks to Chuck. Upon arriving home, the man discovers dozens of messages on his answering machine. One of the girls tells him that there's a rumor going around that if you have sex with Chuck in a matter of days, you'll meet the one who will immediately propose marriage. The man thinks it's nonsense, but the girl says that even if there's a small chance it's true, she's ready. Cam calls. The girl breaks a tooth at work and wants Chuck to see what he can do about it. The man assists and asks the girl out on a date. Cam politely declines and accidentally wounds Chuck with dental instruments. The man is shocked but says it's no big deal. The girl apologizes profusely and is about to leave, but she comes back because her car won't start. It needs to be recharged and the girl asks for help. Cam, again in an incongruous move, she injures the man with an electric shock. The girl is very apologetic. Chuck says he's fine and asks her out again. Cam is embarrassed and wants to leave, but it turns out she forgot her keys in the car, so Chuck brings her home to get a duplicate. The girl believes that if something bad can happen, it's bound to happen. She accidentally disconnects the roof, smashes the door of her house, and rips her skirt. Chuck's girlfriend seems cute, and he makes another attempt to ask her out. Chuck returns home and finds there his secretary. She has been waiting for Chuck to get home from work and ask him to have sex with her. The secretary herself didn't believe in the tales of her boss' miracles, but she hasn't found a single case on the internet where it hasn't worked. She is desperate to find love since her husband died few years ago and she is lonely. So she literally pounces on Chuck with her pleas. The man thinks it is a wild proposition, but he feels sorry for her and agrees. Stu scolds Chuck. He has the opportunity to have sex with a lot of hotties, but he doesn't take advantage of the situation. He convinces his friend that by doing so, he makes women happy, because the only thing all women in the world want is to get married and have a lot of children. Chuck agrees, and for a good cause, he has sex a lot of women. Gradually, this occupation begins to get bored, because girls don't don't want him. They want the next guy after him. One day, Chuck just deletes over 100 incoming messages and goes to the zoo to camp. He asks the girl out again. She has doubts, but she is persuaded by her brother, who hints that she hasn't been in a relationship for a long time. The girl knows about Chuck's situation and doesn't approve of him taking advantage of the opportunity. While her favorite penguins are monogamous and choose their mate for life. While on a date, Chuck assumes the girl is a good kisser. Cam gets flirty and accidentally bangs her head against a pole, and Chuck kisses her. They spend time together, and it's on to sex. Chuck is already anticipating the event. Then Stu calls and says he now believes in his friend's cast. He called the girls what Chuck has dated, and every single one of them is getting married. It is now obvious if Chuck sleeps with Cam, he will lose her. The man makes an incredible effort and leave. Now he must test his curse. Stu finds him a fat, disgusting, rude woman and tells him that no one in the whole planet will marry her. If Chuck sleeps with her and she doesn't marry, the curse is broken and Chuck can go back to Cam. The man forces himself to approach the girl and ask her out. She refuses, so Chuck offers her money and a trip to a fancy restaurant. Chuck doesn't know where to put himself. He drinks a lot of alcohol and finally offers the girl to sleep with him. It happens, and the man spends a long time in the shower. The next man she meets must now love her, so Chuck encourages Stu to ask her out on a date and test the curse. Stu doesn't agree, because he is afraid of really failing in love. Chuck manages to talk him into it, and Stu goes to meet her. The next day, Stu calls Chuck and tells him that it's done. He is not going to marry that woman. Before he can finish his sentence, Chuck is on his way to girlfriend's house. They spend the night together, but in the morning, the man happens to spot the woman he slept with. She met the man he is now getting married. Chuck calls Stu, who answers that he played a friend and went up to girl but only to ask for the time. Chuck decides to make every effort to get Cam to stay with him. He cooks her a lot of food, calls her several times a day, orders flowers, presents, choir, dresses up in a penguin costume. Cam doesn't like his behavior and seems intrusive. The final straw becomes the appearance of her car, which Chuck has dressed up in wedding ribbons. The girl is tired of the excessive attention and asks to leave her alone. Chuck wants to find a way out and even wants to get plastic surgery and her face, but Stu dissuades him and advises him to let the girl go. A random flashback occurs, and the man remembers the girl who cursed him as a child. He seeks her out and is willing to do whatever it takes to get the curse lifted. The woman says that she was a child and that the man himself is to blame for these present misfortunes. Chuck realizes he must let Cam go. He arranges for Cam to meet her idol. He's sad all day, playing video games and not going to work. Stu and his new girlfriend, she is one of Chuck's exes by the way, come to him and tell that Cam is flying off to Antarctica. Probably won't be coming back. Chuck will never see her again. After hesitating a bit, Chuck arrives at the airport. There are 2 flights to Antarctica, so he buys both tickets and barely has time to find her. He says he was afraid of losing her because of his curse, and he doesn't want the girl to leave him forever. But Cam says she'll be back in a week, and he has nothing to worry about. The man gives her a symbolic gift in the form of a pebble that male penguins bring to their females. The girl is touched and they kiss. The woman breaks Chuck's curse, and a year later, he and Cam fly to Antarctica together and kiss again the polar lights. That's all for today. Subscribe and like it if you like it. Hit the bell so you don't miss videos. Good luck!